We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
What it do, guys? It is your boy, Mooky here, and today is a special day. Today is the 9th anniversary of my YouTube channel. Again, it's surprising on how much this channel has come far from basically just a, nameless gaming channel to a, somewhat not even cared about anime reviewer, manga reviewer, and analyzation content creator to now me being that of a what if content maker. Not to mention, it's still somewhat surprising that after all these years, I finally reached that of 10,000 subscribers. Again, I know that's not a big milestone, but for somebody like me who has been on this platform for years, only did this stuff for fun before starting to make a secondary job out of it, it really means a lot that I've come this damn far. And now, time for a special for this anniversary, being a one-shot. And this one-shot is, what if Deku was in Fire Force? Yep, you heard me right. This is basically what if Izuku was in Fire Force. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that there isn't a lot of content about this. Hell, especially when it comes to fan fiction. But as a what if content creator, I don't like to shift too much from canon after all, besides doing a few changes here and there. Not to mention, let's also bring in the fact that I was planning on doing this since last year, but I was too busy. Plus, I needed to refresh myself on that of Fire Force, to be honest. Not to mention, god damn it, the fan service really is a moot point for this series all the time. It has an amazing story, the characters are awesome, the power system is considered to be one of its best in anime history, especially due to me being a lover of fire powers in general. But let's be honest, the thing that's holding back Fire Force is its fan service. And I couldn't handle to turn that into that of a what if series, so I decided to just screw it and make it into a one-shot. Just make it done and get it over with. If I wanted to do another isekai what if Deku, then I'll just have to think about another series in general outside of this. So yeah, anyway, with all that said, let's get into this anniversary one-shot. Shall we, guys? The Great Inferno, a cataclysm that basically engulfed the entire world. Continents destroyed, nations basically obliterated. It was basically the end of the world. Or was it? Who could say? The only form of civilization that remained during this entire catastrophic event was one place in Japan, the city of Tokyo, or rather, what it be soon called the Empire of Tokyo, led by that of the Emperor himself. And not only that, however, this empire, or rather the world, is still plagued with another, catastrophe. Spontaneous human combustion, which soon turns people into that of creatures, demon-like creatures known as infernals. To combat this, while also giving that of the victim somewhat of closure, the Empire created special forces, brigades, and companies, otherwise known as the Fire Force. However, each Fire Force company, on the other hand, do things in their own way, especially a certain company in the Empire that sees themselves as neutral from the Empire but still connected to them in another way. This company being Company 7 of Asakusa, led by the young and somewhat blunt as hell but powerful Captain Shinma Benimaru, or Western way, Benimaru Shinma. However, this isn't about that of the greatest Fire Force captain of all time. This is about somebody who is close to him. Somebody who would get involved with that of multiple crazy events to understand and investigate human combustion, while also wanting to be just like that of the person he admires the most. Another resident of Asakusa. This young man being Midoriya Izuku, a green-net, messy-haired boy with that of bright green eyes, diamond-shaped freckles, and a heart so big with kindness that no matter what you do can bring him down. Now you may be wondering why. However, Izuku is currently leaving Asakusa at the age of 13, heading to that of the Fire Force Academy. And you may be wondering why. Why would he leave Asakusa when he wanted to join that of the Fire Force, when he can do it already? Well, it's simple. Izuku Midoriya is not the kind of person to just want to protect his home alone. He wants to protect everybody. And given that Company 7 only stays in that of Asakusa and never outside of it, as much as he loves his home, the people that live here as well, especially his family, he can't live his dream of wanting to be a hero for others if he only stays in one place. Because of that, he was forced to leave Asakusa and go to that of the academy. There, for at least the next few years, Izuku would do his best to become the fire soldier he always dreamt of becoming. A hero that will always be there for others, for those who are hit by combustion, and save those who become infernos as well. However, even though Izuku is okay with that of the Empire, and not as well spiteful to them like that of certain other people, he's not really that of a believer of the Holy Soul Temple, actually, which is the main religion of the Tokyo Empire. He respects all of his classmates and friends who are, but he's not really cared that much about it either. But even so, a lot of his fellow classmates who kind of discouraged that of Izuku and kind of look down on him because of that. Some even say that he's literally nothing but a heathen from that of a savage district of the city. And because of that, he basically became somewhat of an outcast. But not for long, actually. Where there, he would soon meet that of 3 individuals who become his closest friends during his time at the academy. Ogun Montgomery, a African-American young man with that of tied up dreadlock, with that of orange eyes with swirls in them, and that of his irises. And he's a pretty chill, understanding, and actually quite friendly guy. Because of that, the two basically hit it off quite a bit. The other was Arthur Boyle, a blonde kid with that of bright blue eyes, and has one hell of an overactive imagination. He really sees himself as some savior night king after all. But he's not really a bad guy, though. Look, like I said, overactive imagination, but a person that really looks out for others after all. However, when he's around Izuku, he kind of calls him his, future squire after all. Basically seeing him as his underling besides just a friend. And the last person would be that of Izuku's most kindest and most caring friend. And the one that he would basically go hell and back for. Shinra Kusakabe, a shark-teeth, black-haired boy with that of bright red eyes. When he first heard of Shinra, it was mainly because of rumors that was spreading all across the academy. People that basically saw him as a family killer. because of the rumors spreading that he killed his entire family when he awakened that of his third generation fire kinetic abilities, after all, which nicknamed him that of the smiling demon, because every time when he brought up, he's always smiling, which because of that, people always thought that Shinra was guilty for it. However, to Izuku, even though he's smiling, his eyes say otherwise. The eyes of somebody who's saddened, depressed, and somewhat broken. But even with all of that, Shinra always finds himself to be positive. Not to mention the one thing that truly binds the two of them together. They both want to be heroes and help others no matter what. Not to mention finding out the fact that Shinra never really killed his family after all. When finding out from Shinra, told him that a demon did it. However, nobody truly believes Shinra though. However, for Izuku, he does. He does believe in Shinra, and he does want to help him whenever he finds this demon, that the two of them together can avenge his family, while also helping those in need in the process as fire soldiers. Since then, Izuku hasn't had anyone else besides these three by his side, even though Arthur and Shinra constantly argue with one another all the time, debating on what's cool, superheroes or knights after all. Ogun and Izuku are always the voices of reason to keep the two from snapping at each other after all. After that, they finally graduate from the academy, which now soon led to that of both Shinra and Izuku heading to that of the company that the both of them would be serving. That company would being Company 8. Currently waiting at that of the train station are that of the truly new implemented fire soldiers, Izuku Midoriya and Shinra Kusakabe, waiting on the train to head to that of where their new company will be at. Then, Izuku looking over saying, "This is weird." But then, Shinra putting away his book saying, "What is?" As Izuku continues looking over saying, "I mean, Company 8 is considered to be the newest company actually. It was just founded just about that of 2 years ago, actually." Within hearing that, Shinra saying, "Really? Huh, that makes a lot of sense why I've never heard of it." Then Izuku couldn't help but comment saying, it's the newest company, even more newer than that of Company 7 back in Asakusa." Within hearing that, Shinra saying, "Oh, speaking of your home, but then Izuku feeling a little bit caught off guard by that, as having that of his mouth wide open in complete shock saying, "Well, you see, my mom says she's proud of me, alongside that of my old man as well. Kondoro-san really says that he looks forward to seeing me when I become a fire soldier, when I go back to Asakusa the next time I get a chance." But then, Shinra saying, he can't help but have that of his smile saying, "Oh, that is awesome. So, how are you going to," then, looking at Izuku's face, a little worried, but then thinking about how your big brother's gonna think. But then, Izuku saying, "Is that really so easy to tell my face?" Then, Shinra was about to say, before then, as the loudspeaker speaks up, within one of the assistants of the train station say, "The train will be here in that of 5 minutes. Please grab your belongings when the train arrives." But then hearing that, Izuku saying, "Looks like we better get going." Soon, Shinra saying, Izuku saying, I'm fine. Got nothing to worry about." Before putting away his stuff. However, as soon as the train arrives, that's when flames begin to erupt from it, catching both boys off guard. With that, the train finally stops. Before then, a crowd of people come out. However, some of their clothes being burnt alongside their skin too. Before then, that of a creature that looks like that of a skeleton with flames basically comes out, as this is an Inferno. With Izuku and Shinra completely caught off guard seeing an Inferno in person, as the two were about to step in to help out. That's when somebody soon comes through saying, "Please stand aside. Company 8 has come to take care of the Inferno." As the two boys see that of fire soldiers, However, just as the man said, one of the fire soldiers have that of a large 8 on that of their hat. With Izuku and Shinra surprised seeing that of the squad of fire soldiers that they're basically applied to. As the two are about to head over, that's when one of the fire soldiers, being that of a young woman wearing that of the fire soldier attire for a fire force officer, saying, "You two, young man, you should stay back for the time being. It's too dangerous here." Within, he's saying, "Sorry, ma'am, but we..." Within, without warning, the biggest one of all the fire soldiers rushes towards the Inferno and begins to fight it, actually, one-on-one. With Izuku completely shocked by this, as didn't expect to, as the Inferno does his best to knock the man back, with even sending that of waves of fire towards that of the man. Before then, he pulls out that of a bunker buster from his coat, as one of the soldiers, being that of a blonde-haired woman with that looks like that of a nun, actually, begins to say that of a prayer. Well, the other man soon basically gets his opening in, while then laying that of the bunker instead of the chest of the Inferno, where its core is, before then sending that of a piercing spike right through its chest, destroying the core and purifying the Inferno. As the nun basically finally finishes her prayer with a laton. As then, it seems like the fires are starting to be put out too. However, one of the fires burned that of a light post. Within, seeing this, Shinra acted without realizing alongside Izuku, as Shinra taking off that of his shoes, before then sending that of a burst of flames from his feet, and Izuku heading straight for the flames as well, before then grabbing that of the fiery light fixture, taking away all of the flames from the falling light post after all, and soon jumps up into the air, before then kicking it away, as it soon shatters into that of ashes. But then, seeing as the other fire soldiers couldn't help but be somewhat impressed and somewhat shocked. As for that of the nun in that of Shinra's arms, she's saying, "Oh my, thank you." Within, Shinra basically having his nervous tick smile, of course, when he's feeling anxious, saying, "Don't mention it. I'm just glad I could help." Within, Izuku basically clearing that of his breath, taking deep breaths, before then, soon, that of the man who took out the Inferno, saying, "You two, young man, I didn't know that you were basically fire kinetics." Within, Izuku and Shinra basically notice the man basically talking to them as they both stand in place. As soon, that's when that of another man with that of glasses and brown hair, saying, "Sir, these are the new recruits. They were supposed to come to the company, however, you can see why." Within, hearing that, saying, "Ah, yes, that makes sense." As both Shinra and Izuku salute in attention, saying, "Sir, I am Midoriya Izuku. I am Shinra Kusakabe. Trainees assigned from the academy towards that of the 8th Special Company. Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir." As the young woman from first saying, they're well trained. You don't see that in the academy nowadays." But then, the man saying, "I guess you are the new recruits. I didn't notice you." As the man with that of the blonde hair, otherwise known as Vice Captain Takahisa Hinoa, "Sir, these were the 3 new recruits that we gained from that of the academy, from graduates after all." Within, the man saying, "Oh, right. Well then, before we all fully introduce ourselves, why don't we head back to that of our home-based cathedral? It's only just a few blocks away." Before noticing that of Shinra's feet still smoking, but then the man could up and say, "Why don't you walk it a little bit there?" But then, as pointing at that of Shinra, before then, Shinra saying, "Huh?" As Izuku couldn't help but snicker a bit, saying, "Oh boy, if you don't mind if I walk with that of Shinra, sir?" Within, hearing that, saying, "Huh? Why?" Saying, no reason. Extra cardio?" As Izuku feeling quite nervous with that suggestion, but then the man saying, extra cardio, you say? Smart. I like your style, kid. Meet us there whenever you can. But then, hearing that, the woman could help but say, are you sure about this, sir? But then saying, trust me, I think the other kid just doesn't want to leave him alone for a bit. But then after hearing that, Takahisa couldn't help but look back and think, those two seemed like close friends. Guess we made the right decision of bringing them along. Couple minutes later, finally arriving at that of the cathedral, and let's just say both Izuku and Shinra were completely shocked on how much of a dump it is. But then Izuku saying, wow, I knew fire forces get that special treatment, but this place, it doesn't seem like they've done much with it. Normally, fire forces get that of their own research division, their very own squad, barracks, and tons of other places. Heck, some squads are basically as big as one entire city block. This is quite modest, actually. But then, Shinra saying, I like it. Shows that they're basically down-to-earth guys. As they finally arrive, that's when Takahisa finally allows them into that of the 8th Company's base, where now they fully introduce themselves as members of the 8th Company from before, as their captain being Akataro Obi, their vice captain Takahisa Hiwara, someone of their senior member Maki Ozu, and their church member of that of the 8th Company, Iris, with Izuku and Shinra introducing themselves again and looking forward to being part of the company. Before then, Izuku had to say, I'm glad to be part of the company as well, but I thought for sure that there was supposed to be another person here as well. But then, hearing that, the others couldn't help but acknowledge the fact that, that they did have that of a third recruit. However, he's not here. As even Captain Ogi had to ask the two, was he not with them at that of the train station? Before then, Shinra can help but say, we had another member? Just us two? Within, Izuku realized, oh no, don't tell me he's lost again. As the person that, Izuku was bringing up, being that of his other friend, and the person that sees him as somewhat of his, squire / lackey after all, Arthur. Within, Captain Ogi saying, he'll show up when he shows up. No need to basically worry yourselves about it. As for the two of you, make yourself at home. We're all comrades under the same house now. Within hearing that, Izuku, alongside Shinra, couldn't help but say, thank you, Captain. We'll do our best for everyone, as they salute as well. Within, the two heading to that of their bunks and began unpacking from that of their stuff from the academy and clothes and everything. Within, Izuku wondering, so this is how we're going to be fire soldiers with that of a new company. Within, Shinra saying, aren't you excited, Izuku? Within, Izuku saying, I am? I really am. It means we can actually help others and stop infernos and protect the people. I'm happy about that, but even so, as then, Shinra couldn't help but say, let me guess, you're worried. Worried that you're not going to be able to live up to what you want, right? Then hearing that, Izuku couldn't help but scoff, saying, man, you can read me like a book way too much, Shinra. And I'm guessing you're feeling the same way. Then, Shinra couldn't help but finally unpack himself before laying on that of his bed. Laying on that of the middle bunk of that of the bunk beds, but then saying, I've been always called a demon and a monster by everybody, even a murderer, when I'm not the one who killed my parents. I want to know if I'm even worthy of being a fire soldier, if I'm even worthy to even being here, to live on for both Sho and Mom. Am I? Really? But then hearing that, Izuku couldn't help but basically punch him in the arm, as Izuku, feeling a little bit nervous, saying, sorry about that. But even so, you've always been a lot more confident than this, Shinra. Trust me, even more than me. When you start feeling like that, I start to feel a little bit nervous myself. If it makes you feel any better, I'm kind of worried about going back to Asakusa as well. Mainly because I don't want to think that I betrayed Big Bro by going to that of the Empire's Fire Force instead of staying at Company 8. Hell, you would actually hear him basically say that Company 8 is not even a company, but just a neighborhood watch. As Izuku thinks fondly of the person that he sees as a big brother, that being Benimaru. As Izuku would say, I want to be a hero because I want to protect others. And I also want to protect Asakusa as well. Asakusa already has its great protector. Or protectors, I should say. Koro-san and Big Bro. It doesn't need a third one to get in the way of that dynamic duo. So that's why I want to be my own hero, my own way. Somewhere else. When others need help, I'll be there. And I know you'll be there with me. Right? Shinra? As giving that of a fist in front of him. But then Shinra saying, yeah, I will. As the two fist bump. As the day is winding down, both Shinra and Izuku are currently in that of their bunk rooms, currently getting some shut-eye. However, that's when the alarms begin to go off, causing both of them to spring up in out of shock. Before then, Maki soon comes into their room saying, Izuku, Shinra, we have that of a code red. A spontaneous inferno has been unleashed. Within hearing that, both boys are basically shocked with now getting ready for that of their first job as they head to that of Company 8's special armored fire engines, with Izuku feeling quite nervous alongside that of Shinra, as this is basically their first official mission where they'll have to be fighting against an Inferno in person. As, of course, both Izuku and Shinra are accepting this. However, for Shinra, this is kind of bringing back some bad memories, especially the fact about the Inferno in the area that went berserk was a woman, which catches that of Shinra even more off guard. Looking back at his friend, he couldn't help but feel a little bit worried for him, as getting debriefed by that of their two captains that their duty is to contain, extinguish, and pass on as well. That is our duty as fire soldiers. Do I make myself clear? Within all of them saying, yes, sir, with Shinra's nervousness one. When they arrive at the location, within seeing that of a factory consumed in that of flames, with then Captain Ogi basically giving all the civilians, bystanders, to make clear to keep their distance from that of the flames as well. As they head into that of the large factory, the flames begin to grow even bigger and consume the area even more and more. Within soon, all of them notice the Inferno in the distance, as Shinra, on the other hand, began to have that of a panic attack, seeing the Inferno, as it being that of a tall, lanky woman with a charcoal body, and also that of flaming orange hair, with that of flaming orange eyes that almost look like that of cat slits. She unleashes a wave of flames from her roaring maw. With that, Captain Ogi uses that of his fireman shield to basically guard from the flames. As Vice Captain Takahisa also gets behind that of the shield with that of and Maki as well, even Iris. Izuku also grabs Shinra too to get behind that of their fellow fire soldiers too. As for Shinra, still feeling the overwhelming flames, especially getting more and more flashes of his mother, with Izuku seeing it saying, Shinra! Shinra, listen to me! Within hearing this, Izuku screams, I know how much you feel like you think you can't handle this. Like you think that everything that people have told you is true, but it's not. You're much more than this. You're stronger than this. Just remember, you, Arthur, Ogun, are my closest friends. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, especially you, Shinra. So stand your ground and give it your all. Hearing this from his friend, as he gets out of his panic attack, and not hit by that of the shortcomings of that of the Inferno. Within soon getting, as they soon get out of that of the flames, that's when the Inferno was basically about to pounce onto them, with Captain Obi bringing out that of his fireman's axe and was about to bring it down onto that of the Inferno. However, it dodges out of the way before sending that of a flaming kick towards Captain Obi, as he also blocks it with that of his shield. At the same time, Mooky soon moves in to basically deal that of a powerful palm strike towards that of the Inferno as well, but it dodges too, with Takahisa sending out of barrages of bullets towards that of the Inferno too, as it dodges each and every one, jumping back multiple times like that of a cat. Within soon, it heads straight for that of Shinra. Within, Shinra starting to get his bearings. However, realizing that he's not going to be able to react fast enough to dodge the hit. However, standing in front of the attack is Izuku, as he soon calms himself, takes a deep breath, as he soon spreads his legs apart, bends down, before then flames begin to consume around that of Izuku, especially the flames around that of the area begin to gather around him. As that, everyone begins to notice this. Before then, Izuku's eyes went from that of the usual emerald green to a fiery emerald green. Within, his irises changes into that what almost looks like that of a tortoise head. Within, bringing his hands down, before then all the flames begin to merge into that in front of Izuku, turning into that of the very tortoise head that's in his eyes, as he says, "East Paul style, Black Tortoise Shield!" As a flaming tortoise head basically consumes the attack, keeping Izuku staying in place while cratering that of his feet. Before then, using that of his force, bringing that of both his arms back. Before then, sending that of the tortoise head towards straight into that of the Inferno, sending it flying backwards. With that, it soon gets back on its feet while scurrying, before then shouting in that of a huge hiss of roar. With that, looks back at Shinra saying, "You good now, Shinra?" Within, blinking multiple times before smiling, saying, "Yeah, I'm fine now. Thanks for snapping me out of my funk, Izuku." But then, Izuku smiling, saying, "Hey, what are friends for?" Before then, flames begin to erupt around that of Shinra, as then saying, "You go low, I go high. Already on it." As then, the flames around Izuku begin to manipulate. Instead of turning back from that of the tortoise head, now begin coating around that of his arms and his legs. Before then saying, "West Paw style, White Tiger Claws!" Within, seeing that of the fiery claws consume around that of Izuku's arms and legs. Within, getting almost at the same stance as that of the Inferno. Before then, blitzing towards that of the Inferno. Within, Ogi saying, "We can't let our recruits basically get all the glory. Company 8, let's show them what we can do." With all of that, soon Takahisa saying, "Sister Iris, the prayer," saying, "Right." As she begins to spout that of the prayer, that's when Izuku sends out of a flurry of jabs and kicks to keep that of the Inferno off, basically able to react fast enough from the attacks, as Mooky and Ogi deal that of close range attacks too, also keeping the Inferno from getting anywhere closer, as it soon tries to jump up into the air and send out of a blast of fire. That's when Takahisa soon shoots that of multiple bullets at it, causing it to dodge out of the way and dodge even more and more of the gunfire. With then, looking back, seeing that Shinra is ready, as he prepares that of his third generation fire kinetic ability, Ignition, within flying forward in that of a burst of flames so fast that Barely anybody could react except Izuku, who couldn't help but smile at his friend. Shinra flips into the air before then sending a powerful forward kick into that of the Inferno's core. At the same time, Iris finished that of the prayer, Laton, with that purifying the Inferno. Within, Shinra couldn't help but smile. Now, not in that of his nervousness, but in that of truly resolved. At the same time, they finally got out of that of the factory, the flames being put out, with many of the people thanking those of Company 8, even that of Captain Obi. Within, Captain Obi began to give the credit to that of Shinra and Izuku. As Izuku gets a little bit nervous about having the attention on him, even that of Shinra, however, a man with that wearing that of a blue shirt couldn't help but go to them and thank them for setting his wife free and purifying her as he's in their debt. Within hearing that, both Izuku and Shinra couldn't help but smile, but with Shinra having a genuinely nice and caring smile being recognized for his ability as a fire soldier, and Izuku just being thanked anyway. With that, the night comes to an end, with arriving back at that of Company 8 as the night goes by, with the next morning currently being as Captain Obi wanted to meet with that of Shinra and Izuku, telling them that they did well last night, if wanting to congratulate them on their first job and mission taking care of that Inferno, with Izuku and Shinra grateful for his compliments and caring. However, they really can't focus given that Captain Obi continues to work out in front of them by lifting weights. But even so, it's a pretty interesting quirk for their captain, as he has something else important to tell them, especially for that of the next couple days after all, the Fire Force Rookie Fire Games. Hearing that, Shinra and Izuku couldn't help but be a little confused, with Izuku thinking, Rookie Fire Games? Within, Obi couldn't help but comment that it's basically a tournament where the rookies from the newly minted rookies from the academy, from that of each of the companies, basically go in a tournament. Within, Izuku wondering, wait, I've never heard about that before. With Shinra basically telling him that it's not really well known, but most companies do it just to show off that of their new recruits for their companies. As Izuku thinks, I've again never heard of it. Then realizing, makes sense. Company 7 would have never got involved with something like this, especially given who's being the captain of the company and wants nothing to do with the Empire, even for stuff like this. As Obi even tells them that their last recruit has shown up today, and they'll be taking part with him during that of the rookie games. Also, in case you're wondering, a few captains might show up as well. So, this may be a good chance for you to scope out of your fellow fire soldiers after all. Within hearing that, Shinra couldn't help but smile wide and showing his sharp teeth and all, thinking about being able to meet the man and his idol, Captain Burns. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be here to this day. Within hearing that, Izuku couldn't help but be excited, knowing that his best friend is going to be able to meet his idol. However, as soon as they arrive, that's when somebody spoke up saying, "So, they allowed you to be here, you hot-footed devil." Within hearing that, Shinra couldn't help but get annoyed. As for Izuku, he couldn't help but be happy, but also a little annoyed as well, mainly out of embarrassment annoyance. As the person that spoke up, down that of the hall of the from that of Captain Obi's office, being that of Arthur Boyle, the last recruit of Company 8. Within, he's saying, "Hey Arthur, so you finally came. I was wondering what took you so long. Don't tell me you got lost again." Within, Arthur, having that of a smile, saying, "No need to worry, my faithful squire. Your Sir Knight is here to help you keep an eye on this demonic demon here." But then Shinra saying, "Who the hell are you calling demonic demon? You night freak. You, that's for sure. You fire-footed demon." With then, Shinra can up and say, "You want to say that again? You damn night wannabe?" As the two are about to throw down, that's when Izuku basically stops both of them with that of a quick pressure point to that of their necks, freezing them in place, causing that of Arthur to basically stand in place and Shinra to feel like he's about to fall to the ground. However, Izuku catches him, with then saying, you guys do this all the time when you're around each other. Worst part is, I don't have Ogun to help me handle both of you. So I'm stuck with the two of you. So please, all three of us are in the same company now. We have to get along and work together. Within, Arthur, still basically frozen in place, not even fazed by that of the awkward position he's in. Me, a proud knight, work with this scumbag? Have you lost your mind, my precious squire? You know how much this guy annoys the hell out of me, Izuku. You really expect me to work with him too? But then Izuku saying, no, but I at least expect you guys to at least get along for my sake. And the company's too. We're working together to save lives. If you guys bicker on that of the battlefield, lives are at stake. I don't think a newly minted hero and a knight of justice would want the innocent to suffer, right? Within hearing that, both of them saying, right. With that, Izuku could help but sigh in relief, before then pressing that at the certain pressure points on their neck again, allowing them to move. Before then, hearing that of somebody down the hall as being Sister Iris saying, oh, you're all here. Vice Captain Takahisa and Maki want to speak to us on the rooftop. Within hearing that, they soon head to the rooftop, where there, Captain Takahisa basically want to see what they're truly capable of, especially without just using that of their, pyrokinetic abilities. With that, however, Iris and Shinra are listening alongside Izuku properly. However, Arthur, on the other hand, is acting so distracted, basically looking at a butterfly, actually, before getting shot by that of Takahisa, as he also is a second-generation fire kinetic after all, and he's able to control the heat from that of his bullets to control on how fast and how strong they can become when they leave the barrel. He's lucky he was able to withstand bring down half of the heat before it could basically pierce Arthur's skin without just, hurting him. With that now, currently telling that of Maki to fight against both Shinra, Izuku, and Arthur to see what they're truly capable of. With that, first up was Shinra, and the fight wasn't half bad at first. However, when Shinra decided to use that of his, flames from his feet, that's when Maki started to use that of her second generation fire abilities after 8 to basically manipulate and control that of Shinra's flames, causing him to basically hit his face on the ground before then finishing him off with that of one powerful blow off of the, sanctuary's rooftop, with Arthur and Izuku screaming out, Shinra! As Izuku was about to go down to catch Shinra. However, that's when Maki couldn't help but smirk before snapping her fingers, allowing that of Shinra to use that of his flames once again, allowing him to flip in the air before landing back on his feet. However, Shinra looks like he almost saw his life flash before his eyes again, with Maki's abilities to basically disrupt that of flames after all. Next up is Arthur, with Arthur basically deciding to use that of his third generation fire kinetic ability to create that of a plasma cutter. However, he calls it his Excalibur sword, as Maki tries to disrupt the flames in that. However, plasma alone, given that it's channeled by not just fire but also a bit of electricity as well, isn't so easily to disrupt. As the two clash, with Arthur holding his own at least a little bit before then accidentally calling her a princess, and then, Maki basically mishearing his miscommunicating that of his words, calling her a Cyclops gorilla, before then saying ogre, And then Shinra coming in to say Ogre 2, which soon basically led to that of Maki snapping. Using her full extent of her second generation fire kinetic abilities to basically disrupt that of Shinra's flames, creating that of her homies, even that of, well, Arthur's, well, Excalibur as well, turning it into a homie as well, before then gathering all three homies into one giant one, as she calls it, bubble bo bo bubble bo. Within, as she's basically has full control over it, that's when the flames from that of the giant bubble bo bo bubble bo bo begin channeling towards that of Izuku, as he does that of like that of flowing motion waves around his body, almost like that of a flowing motion of water, as the giant fireball basically gets smaller and smaller and smaller, as the flames around Izuku begin to gather around him more and more, before then dispersing it into small waves where it doesn't basically engulf the entirety of the rooftop or any of his comrades. Within, Maki is actually quite impressed with that of Izuku's control over his fire kinetic abilities, showing that he seems to be a second generation fire soldier just like her, and that of Takahisa as well. Before that of Vice Captain Takahisa decided to basically use a fire extinguisher to put what's left of that of the Bobobo out of its misery, causing Maki to basically lose it. As Arthur and Shinra basically are under that of the water tower on the roof, looking like they've just been beaten with that and just humiliated as well, with Izuku saying, "So, what have we learned today, guys?" Well, then both of them look at that of their greenette friend, saying, not to judge a book by its cover, not to judge a book by its cover, no matter how much of a flower it seems. It could be just as dangerous as without stopping Arthur before he could say anything, as then saying, please don't send your death sentence so soon, Arthur. Looking at the sense of fear in his eyes, within, Arthur nods, saying, very well, if it's coming from you, my squire, then I'll listen. After that, the training comes to an end with everybody from Company 8 actually going out to get some ramen, all on that of Captain Obi after all, as he wants to congratulate them for holding their own against Maki after all, showing that their new recruits have quite the potential, with especially Izuku, as Izuku eating some ramen while basically both Arthur and Shinra are scarfing it, as Izuku can help but scratch the back of his head in that of nervousness, and also shyness from that of being praised, saying, I just thought what I did was right, and besides, I didn't even get a chance to fight against Miss Maki, actually. All I did was basically control that of her giant living fireball, which really got me curious. I want to know what that of her second generation fire abilities are capable of, even that of Lieutenant Takehisa's as well. As he thought about this, that's when a notebook just materialized right in front of Izuku with a pen in his hand as well. Within, as he begins writing things down, that's when the captain could help but blink, saying, I'm sorry, where did that come from? Within, Shinra could help but laugh, saying, that's Izuku's little quirk there. When it comes to that of fire abilities, either be first, second generation, or third generation, he can't help but write it all down. Within, Arthur, done slurping up his own ramen, saying, that is my squire for you, the bookkeep, strategist, and quite incapable in the combat. I expect nothing less from my right-hand man. Within, Ogi saying, where do you get stuff like that? Within, Shinra saying, I think he was hit on the head way too many times. You want to say that again, you devil? With then saying, bring it on, you night freak. With soon the two couldn't help but growl at each other. Then Izuku basically gets out of his muttering while writing at the same time, saying, oh, guys, stop fighting! As he gets back and basically paralyzes them again. However, right after that, as time went on, Company 8 was given another call about that of an Inferno, at that of a residential district. However, there's no flames, no fire, no nothing. It's all quiet. And yet Inferno is here with catching everybody surprised except that of, well, Obi, Takahisa, and Maki. Obi looking back at Arthur and Shinra, and Izuku saying, I wish for the both of you to put your weapons away and don't use your powers. Catching the boys off guard with then Izuku saying, are you sure, sir? But then Arthur saying, a knight never puts away his weapon when danger's afoot. As Obi scolds them saying, this isn't your typical Inferno possession, you three. But then catching off guard by being yelled at, then saying, just look out, just watch, that's all. With that, the flames begin to engulf that of the apartment. However, it doesn't engulf the entire apartment complex. As they soon arrive, that's when they see the Inferno in the apartment, still standing at that of the dinner table, sitting, almost waiting, calmly, like a normal person, still wearing that of the former person's clothing and everything, as it's just sitting there as the flames continue to burn on it through its body, with Izuku completely shocked as a memory basically just happens through that of when seeing this, as he remembers back then when he saw an Inferno back in Asakusa, a person that he grew up with ever since he was a kid, a man who always did his job around Asakusa, always helping out others, fixing up houses, fixing that of belongings as well. He was always there. And yet, as soon as he became an Inferno, everyone thought he was just going to go berserk like everyone else, but instead, he didn't. Instead, he just kept on doing his job, kept on helping, kept on building, kept on fixing things up. Almost like it's just his routine. Like nothing, like even as an Inferno, nothing could change. Izuku basically decided to just let him be. I mean, he hasn't done anything or hasn't burned anything else down. Is it truly wrong? Back then, Izuku was just a naive kid that just didn't want to see people he cared about hurt or suffer. To Izuku, he kind of thought something like this was a blessing, that people that they care about can still act like them even while in Inferno. But even that, it's just fragments of who they once were. Give it time, they'll basically go berserk and cause a lot of mass destruction and collateral after all. When it comes to spontaneous combustion, and especially spontaneous combustion that turns a person into an Inferno, it's never truly reassuring after all. Izuku couldn't help but clench his fist, but then saying, can I put him out of his misery, Captain? But then, everybody looks at that the greenettes, with Shinra saying, Izuku, are you, please, let me do this. It's only right. But then Arthur saying, are you truly think you could do this, my squire? With that, Izuku trying to give a comforting smile saying, I can. I promise. With that, he soon heads to the Inferno. With that, he soon says, West Paul style, white tiger claws. As then, he soon generates that of fire claws across that of his arms. But then, Maki kind of confused saying, wait, I thought Izuku was a second generation. But then, Shinra saying, that's what everyone always thinks at first. But he's actually a second and third generation. He can manipulate flames and also conjure flames at the same time. With then, Izuku preparing that of his claws right behind the man saying, I'm sorry. Please be at peace. Miss Iris, as Iris is already giving out that of the prayer. Before then, stabbing the claws right through that of his back, right through his chest. Before then, crushing the core inside of him. As soon doing so, Iris finishes the prayer with that of a low tone. As then, the Inferno basically disappears. Soon, Izuku takes a deep breath multiple times, calming himself down, before then saying, let's go. Then, noticing that of a photo on the ground as the roof was about to cave in. That's when Captain Obi basically goes straight for Izuku as the debris was about to come down on them, as Shinra, and Arthur basically scream for Izuku. However, Captain Obi protects that of the green net. Everybody's happy about that, with wondering why did Izuku basically stop right then and there, before then showing a picture of the Inferno before he became one, alongside that of his daughter, as Izuku saying, even though he's gone, no reason to forget the kind of person he was before he had to pass. I think this is more important than just having him pass on alone. Once you're in Inferno, your current life is over, but no need to forget the kind of person that you once were. It's something that we in Asakusa live by. As Izuku says this, he couldn't help but tear up at least a little bit while still smiling. If everybody in Company 8 couldn't help but smile back as well. A couple days later, that's when the Fire Soldier Rookie Games has now begun, with many of the other companies arriving there too. There, Izuku, alongside Shinra and Arthur, are looking forward to basically fighting alongside that of their fellow fire soldiers, with even wondering if that of Ogun is going to be there too, thinking about seeing that of the old gang together before, as Shinra also couldn't help but get excited seeing their old friend too. However, as soon as they walk past that of, the first division's, tent, that's when Shinra bumps into that of a certain someone, alongside that of Izuku. As soon as they do, they're basically on top of that of a black-haired girl with that of twin tails, wearing that of a fire soldier coat. However, she's basically with that of her, only having that of a bra under with that of loose pants. And worst part is, both of them have that of their hands on that of her bra. With that, it basically turns into that of a huge mess. Shinra basically smiling in that of pure and utter nervousness, while Izuku his face is completely blanked out, to the point that his face is completely and utterly red. As for her, she's basically berating both Izuku and Shinra for being perverts for grabbing her like that, as Izuku basically stands in place and bows his head multiple times over and over and over and over and over again for apologizing as well. As for Shinra, on the other hand, he also says sorry, but basically nonchalantly after all, as he didn't want that to happen, but he is okay that it happened though. As she even berates them even more, especially given that she's from that of the first company, especially being that of a sister and all. Hearing that, Izuku, on the other hand, still feel sorry for her, but he doesn't really care if she's from the church or the first company. Within hearing that, Shinra could up and say, "You're from the first? Then that means you know about that of Captain Burns, right? Isn't that his name?" Within hearing that, the girl, otherwise known as Tamaki, could up and say, "What the hell do you want with Captain Burns?" He saved my life when I was a kid. I just want to thank him, that's all." Within hearing that, Tamaki saying, "Oh, well then, fine. He should be over there." Within running off, he bumps into her by accident. At the same time, she basically forces Shinra to basically stop. At the same time, he ends up grabbing her by her ass, having Izuku basically blush even more at seeing the situation, wondering what the hell is going on, causing Shinra to be smiling in nervousness once more. While Shinra is going to meet with Captain Burns, Izuku decides to look around even more before noticing all of the divisions. However, some divisions seem a little bit, shady. Especially, they see that of one empty lot where a sign says for that of Company 7 of Asakusa. But then, seeing that, Izuku can't help but sigh, saying, "Of course they wouldn't be here, especially you, right, big brother Benny-chan?" With that, Izuku couldn't help but walk past the lot even more, before heading back with that of those from Company 8, with decided to talk with that of Arthur, That's when Shinra comes back. Within, Izuku saying, "Hey, how'd it go, Shinra? Did he?" Within saying, "He said he doesn't remember me, and that he's too busy." But then hearing that, saying, "Wait, seriously?" Then hearing that, Ogi saying, "Huh? Who?" Within, Shinra explains that he went to talk to Captain Burns and wanted to thank him for saving his life, but he said he didn't remember him at all. That, Ogi couldn't help but narrow his eyes a bit, saying, "Is that so, huh?" But then Takesa's saying, "Captain, don't try anything that will cause us trouble. It's too early for that right now." But then Captain Obi saying, "Hey, I promise I won't cause any trouble. Just want to defend one of my subordinates, that's all." With Takahisa not even phased, but then saying, "Uh-huh, sure, Captain." As he basically goes back to that of his written report. Then, soon, everybody else was given that. For the rookie games is about to begin, with all the rookies in place, within giving them that of orders that their job is to save and rescue that of the participants and that of the building right in front of them. The first team from each company that grab each of one of the participants wins. And with that, it begins. Everybody rushing as fast as they can. However, both Shinra and Izuku, on the other hand, don't even run fast. The reason being, they fly. Mainly because of Shinra's, ignition, using his feet to fly up to that of the building. However, as for Izuku, he basically uses that of his second and third generation fire powers to create that of fiery wings and that of a fiery tails as well, as this is his Southpaw style Vermilion Phoenix, as both Shinra and Izuku fly up to that of the building, making it there even faster than the others did. As soon as they arrive, they soon walk around. However, when they do, that's when they notice a man in that of a snazzy suit, having that of a bandana over that of his left eye, and also wearing a fedora, as he also has a cigarette in his mouth, saying, well, what do I find here? Two little fire soldiers in here, and one of them being that of the Devil Firefoot, with Izuku and Shinra completely shocked. Before then, Izuku noticed that of one of the, impersonator Infernos and survivors here in that of the building passed out or basically looking dead. Within, the man's smoke from his cigarette began to make that of, shapes like that of diamonds, clubs, and hearts. Before he began to basically spout out stuff about that of Shinra's family, even calling him by that of the insult that he despises, devil, with even spouting out that of other things. Within soon seeing this look on that of Shinra, as he's not even smiling, as he's just purely confused, purely in shock. Before then, and that of a burst of speed, flaming claws coat around his arms and legs, sending that of a powerful kick towards that of the man. Within, soon seeing this, saying, "Oh, you got a pretty good skill set. Not to mention your moves, not your traditional fire soldier moves." As Izuku sends out of waves and waves of punches and kicks towards that of the eye patch looking man, tries to deal that of a powerful paw punch towards that of his chest. However, that's when smoke begins to cloud around Izuku, and that of pure and utter shock, he didn't even hit anything as right in front of him, the man is gone. Within Izuku looking around, seeing that there's still tons of smoke around him. Before then, the man comes right beside Izuku, having that of a dangerous smile before kicking him away. But then, Izuku scared on the ground before standing back on his feet. Before then, feeling the wincing pain on his cheek. Soon, Shinra saying, Izuku, are you? Yeah, I'm fine. You? Saying, he knows about my mom and he knows about the fire 12 years ago. But then saying, I heard, if he knows about what happened to you, then he has to know. He possibly knows who the one who really caused your family's death. But then, hearing that, Shinra basically spreading his legs back within over that of his left foot, flames begin to erupt. Within saying, then we'll make him. As he couldn't help but have that of his fang teeth smile as always. Within soon, the eye patch man saying, I like to see if you kids can try. As soon, flames become from that of his cigarette, before then turning into that of playing cards. As that of the two fire soldiers of the 8th Company blitz towards the man, otherwise known as Joker, with Shinra's breakdancing fighting style and Izuku's traditional fighting style, keeping that of Joker on his toes. Even though he doesn't look like he's basically phased, he couldn't help but be at least a little bit impressed with the two's teamwork, especially with that of Shinra's chaotic fighting style and Izuku's more, traditional fighting style. Before Izuku thinking, if this keeps up, I won't be able to focus more. Then I guess I got no choice. Within, soon, switching up that of his style, saying, Northpaw style, Azure Dragon! Within, his flames begin to coat around that of his back, unlike that of his vermilion phoenix wings. Instead, it looks like that of a tail of a dragon before covering that of his head, having that of the horns and head of a dragon, mainly an eastern dragon, as Izuku gets into his battle stance before then blitzing towards that of Joker once more, as Joker couldn't help but be a little bit impressed. Before then, Izuku sees that of playing cards towards him. Before then, using that of his second generation flames, he channels them and coats them through that of his arms. But soon, Joker notices saying, oh, second generation pyrokinetic too. Last time I heard somebody was like that. That means you, by any chance, you related to Shinma Benimaru? Then, hearing that name, Izuku couldn't help but froze for a bit. Before then, the man goes into that of smoke once more, completely stuck as Izuku stops, realizing he lost him. Within, Shinra scream out, Izuku! With that, he soon was hit. He dodges out of the way from an attack. However, it wasn't fast enough as he was soon punched in the chest, sent flying. At the same time, Izuku could help but basically cough up as he heading to his friend, saying, you bastard! But soon, the man known as Joker could help but spoke up and saying, now, that's a surprising look. Man, I wonder how your mother would think if she saw that look from you. But then, Shinra scream out, shut the hell up! What the hell do you know? But then, the man couldn't help but smile even more, saying, more than you think. Especially this. I'll give you a little bit of a freebie. Your little brother, he's still alive. Hearing that, Shinra was completely and utterly shocked by that. Hearing that, that's when Arthur and Tamaki actually finally shown up and decided to help out a little bit as well. With Tamaki basically having that of fiery cat tails and cat ears, and Arthur having his Excalibur at the ready. Within, looking at that of Izuku, as he couldn't help but get a little bit angry, saying, you, what have you done to that of my knight squire? And you, devil, I expect better that you would defend him. At least that's the one thing the two of us have in common. But then, Shinra scream out, oh, don't blame this on me. I tried my best to help him out too. But then, Joker saying, 3 fire soldier recruits all at once. Now that's something else. But I'm not gonna lie, I've done what I needed to do here. Before then, he pulls out that of multiple vials of black, with something black inside. Then, Izuku getting back on his feet, with then saying, "Wait, what is that?" Before then, tossing the vials up into the air as it unleashes. But then, Izuku noticed, saying, "Wait, this is..." Before coughing, realizing, "This is ash." Why would he... Before then, putting two and two together, saying, "Guys, we need to get out of here, now!" All of them are shocked. Before then, Tamaki saying, "Oh crap, he's totally right. We need to get out. This place is going to blow." Within hearing this, everybody were freaking out. However, they soon thought of this. They thought of a plan, as Izuku telling Arthur to cut that of the rooftop to make an opening for them. With that, Arthur does it. However, it doesn't fall, given on how sturdy the rooftop is after all. Within seeing this, Izuku sends out of a burst of fire from the palm of his hand towards the top, along with the help of Tamaki as well. But then, switching back to that of his Southpaw style, Vermilion Phoenix, and grabs one of the crew members for that of the games after all, and Shinra has the other, with the help as the two basically go up to the air. However, Izuku doesn't stop there, as he also grabs that of Tamaki and also Arthur too, using that of his flaming tails. They soon are able to get out before it fully explodes, as everybody's completely and utterly shocked at what's going on. However, one person from that of the third company, basically sponsored by that of Hajima Industries, a man wearing that of a lab coat, a white t-shirt with an orange stripe, and quite the messy fro color hair with that of, well, straight white teeth, smiling at that of what's going on, while all the other companies are completely shocked and wondering what's happening. Within, Izuku and Shinra land back on the ground with that of the two unconscious crewmen on the ground, and not only that, with that of Tamaki and also Arthur as well, causing everybody to be shocked and surprised and wondering what the hell is going on. With that, the Fire Soldier Rookie Games has basically been on hiatus for the time being, with even having to put out that of the flames for the task after all, as all the other companies head back to that of their, well, HQs. Izuku, alongside Shinra, couldn't help but think about what the man, otherwise known as Joker, that they finally found out what he's called, basically told them the truth about his family and the fact that Shinra's little brother is still alive. Within, Shinra couldn't help but ask Izuku, do you think he was telling the truth? Or do you think he was lying to me? It's getting inside my head. Within, Izuku saying, what do you think, Shinra? But then, Shinra couldn't help but grab his head, saying, I don't know what to think. If Sho really is alive, then what am I doing here? Then, placing his hand on that of his best friend's shoulder, as Ogi saying, there the two of you are. We gotta head back, saying, oh, right, Captain. And then, Ogi couldn't help but look back, saying, if we were all here, all of us, every one of the companies, and many of us could have stopped this, and yet we didn't. Within hearing the words from their captain, saying, there's so much going on behind the scenes. As much as people want to think that the Fire Soldiers and all of the companies are working together, in fact, that's not even the case. All of us have their own motivations and reasoning on why they all became part of these companies. Within hearing that, Izuku saying, you can't be serious, Captain. I mean, surely we all are fighting for the betterment of protecting humanity, protecting them from the Infernos, and especially spontaneous human combustion. Within, we can help but look at that of the greenette, saying, on the paper, yes. However, when have I told you that all of the other Fire Force companies have their own motives, and maybe Some of them even have something to do with that of human combustion. With that, hearing that, Izuku could help but be completely and utterly shocked, even telling Shinra. But then, Obi continued saying, that's where the 8th comes in. We are basically a task force that investigates all of the other companies as well, to look into that of their dirty little secrets and see if they're the cause for all of the suffering happening here in the Empire. Our investigation to finally put an end to human combustion. And seeing that Joker was here, a wanted criminal, and yet none of the other soldiers could do anything to stop him, basically proves that there are some companies here that have some ulterior motives, that they're allowing that of a wanted criminal to be here. I'm not asking you guys to stick your necks out for me and what I'm doing, but if you all want to still be part of the Company 8 or transfer to another one, I wouldn't blame you if, but then both of them say, like hell we are! As Izuku saying, Captain Obi, you allowed me to join Company 8 to allow me to achieve my dream of being a fire soldier, to protect others, to save lives, and to protect as many people from that of human combustion as well. I'm not going to give up on that, and knowing somebody else wants to stop it too makes it even more of a reason for me to stay with Company 8. But then Shinra, smiling, saying, I want to stay too. There's no way I'm leaving the 8th after everything I've gone through. Besides, staying with you guys, I might be able to learn things even more. As the two teens couldn't help but smile back at their captain, with Obi couldn't help but smile back, saying, I really did get some crazy knuckleheads, didn't I? Alright, you two, let's head back to HQ and talk about what we found. Within, both of them salute, saying, yes, sir. As Shinra and Izuku's journey of being known as heroes has just begun. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, what did you guys think? Sorry that I didn't go through this pretty much, or go through that of a certain point in arc that I know you guys wanted to see. Trust me, I feel the same way. But again, when it comes to Fire Force, it is it's more story driven than that of action pack driven after all. Plus, this is basically my first Fire Force based what if after all. And I don't probably plan on doing any more in the future, unfortunately. Maybe on my side channel, but not on my main channel. And I won't lie, I am a little bit disappointed that I couldn't get as far as I could. Hell, I couldn't even show on who would be Izuku's main love interest in this. And that mainly was Hibana after all. Yeah, I said it, Izuku's love interest was Hibana. Honestly, I kind of like Shinra and Hibana's interactions with one another. So I kind of thought it'd be adorable and kind of funny between that of Izuku and Hibana's interactions with one another. That are straightforward advancements towards Izuku would basically make him blush like crazy and be kind of funny. But again, I could make this into a series. However, I may not. If you guys want me to make this into a series, I'll probably make a poll, actually. If not, then, well, it's just going to stay a one-shot. And if you guys want to complete it yourself, then go ahead. As for Izuku's, well, fire gen powers, yeah. He's a second gen and third generation, just like our boy Benimaru. You guys are wondering, no, he's not as OP as Benimaru or as powerful as that of the captain of the 7th company, but he is just as skilled. As for his powers, he's basically able to manipulate and conjure flames under that of the four guardian deities of China, basically being the White Tiger of the West, the Black Taurus of the East, the Azure Dragon of the North, and the Vermilion Phoenix of the South. Originally, the concept I had for that of Izuku's fire gen powers was going to be based on animals as a whole, but then I scrapped it for that of the Zodiac, for that of the Chinese Zodiac, as he's able to transform his turn that of his flames into that of animal parts of the Chinese Zodiac. but that's way too much work. I mean, just imagine Izuku basically conjuring a fiery pig. Unless that pig can basically shoot that of fiery laser eyes like in Jackie Chan Adventures, then I don't see the point of it. But yeah, if you guys want me to make this a full-on series, I'll probably make it into a poll. But if not, it stays a one-shot and a one-shot only. So yeah, anyways, with all that said, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to get to date my videos uploaded to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Mooky, signing out. Later, guys, and hope you all take care. Take it away, my beloved Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!